So, if you've been tracking the real estate market over this past year, you know that we ended the year in a buyer's market. Things were definitely leaning towards the buyers. It was getting to a point, some points where it was more neutral. It was kind of like going between like what they consider a neutral market and a buyer's market. But as we've entered this year, we are still in a buyer's market. The year just began. It's how it goes. It's always slow right at the beginning. We are still in a buyer's market, but as we go over the next few weeks and get to closing out January, we're expecting it to start shifting to be not nearly as strong of a buyer's market. Buyers are not going to be able to get as good of deals probably as we go throughout this year, but all of that does just depend on the economy at large. As it stands right now, the Fed is generally expecting to cut rates just one time this year. Now that's going to depend, they've made it very clear on the data based on how things go with inflation and the labor market. If things go as expected, we get one rate cut this year. And to note, that's already baked in to the interest rates we have right now, which is about 6.2%. If things go differently than how it's expected, then rates could go higher or lower. And if they go as expected, which is generally considered to be the most likely scenario, prices will go up this year. Not crazy, but they'll go up more than they were this last year, at least. We will see more multiple offer situations. Again, probably nothing crazy, but it'll be there a lot more than it is right now. Sellers will still have to make sure to price their houses appropriately from the beginning. Like right now, it is crucial that you price your house right. If you overprice it, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And you can reduce your price over time. It won't go, the chances are you'd be shooting yourself in the foot. It just won't go as well for you. It might be fine. It might just, if you have the time to wait, it might just, work out where it doesn't harm you. But the chances of it harming you are a lot higher if you start out high from the beginning. If you start out right at market value right now, that's really like at or below, but generally if you're really wanting to make sure you get like a good deal as a seller right now, you want to start like at market value. As we get into this next year, it's going to be the same. You should really start at market value. So, or below, especially if we get in multiple offer situations, below will start being a very beneficial thing for sellers again. Which, as you know, that's just because if you start below, typically you'll get multiple offers, and instead of fighting against you, the seller, they're fighting against each other, and the price goes up to or above market value most of the time. But just like last year, this upcoming year, it's looking like, given the market conditions, starting above will have the same effect. When you start up high, that you're going to sell at market value ultimately after a long time, or below. So just by the nature of the market. When it's a heavy seller's market, it's not as impactful. It still is impactful. It can still happen, but it's not as likely. But when we're in a buyer's market or a neutral market, starting above just doesn't go well. So if the Fed generally comes to find that they need to cut rates more than just once this upcoming year, then we'll get lower rates, which means we'll get more demand because affordability increases substantially with every rate cut. And that means that, we'll get more towards the seller's market again. And the market will just start going a lot better than it's been. If the Fed comes to find out that things just aren't going the way that they want them to, then they may not cut rates at all. And we might end up with rates above 6.5%. But generally, right now, it's expected for one rate cut. It's expected for rates to stay between 6 and 6.5% throughout this year as a result. If it goes as planned, maybe might dip a little bit below 6%, but generally that's where it's expected to be, below 6.5, down to 6. So if it stays in that range, then we'll have a better year this year than last year, for sure. More is going to be happening. Prices will probably increase steadily. We will have accelerated demand that's going to really start picking up here in the coming weeks, especially as we enter the spring market. As always, every year once you enter the spring market, things really just take off. So if you're looking to buy or sell this year, within the next upcoming 6 months really will be a great time for you. Once we get to the second half of the year, it's just fine towards the beginning. As always, once you enter the holiday season, things really start slowing down, but you have the whole rest of this year leading up to it that, as long as you're flexible in your timing, it shouldn't be a problem. If you're trying to buy a place this upcoming year, probably the earlier on the better, and just because you're not going to deal with prices going up as much. If you do something right now, you'll still have some benefits of it being a buyer's market like it has from last year. You might lose some of those benefits as the year progresses. Again, no knows, we'll see. That's just the estimations based on the data. So I'll keep you posted as the year progresses, where things are looking, what's happening, and all that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, protests, anything, my information's in the comments below. Feel free to reach out and I'd love to hear from you.